Okay, all right. Audio, audio. Hello, hello. All right, perfect. All right. This is for my There's More to Know presentation, written by me, Alex Arriaga. And I want to talk about today some client negotiations. I think this is very important um, because when first heading out on their own, business people, many consultants, designers, anything you can think of, are going to need to know this. And most people leaving college aren't very prepared for this and they don't know how to strike a bargain or a deal. Simply put, anyone with aspirations of having their own business or working for one will need to have the basic skills that comes from, negotiating. You'll need it for signing bonuses. You will even have to negotiate salaries, especially when you have all kinds of, deals coming in from all different job offerings. So you're going to have a lot on your plate, and you're going to need to make sure you're getting the best deal, especially with all the interest in you, because they want you and you want to work for them, but with certain guidelines for your own, for your own, how can I say, interests, basically. And you guys want to meet in the middle, and you're going to have to find a way to get the best deal for you. So we're going to talk about negotiations today. There we go. So what is a negotiation? Negotiation is a dialogue between two or more parties aspiring to reach a deal in which they can both or all agree on. Okay, just read that from there, right off of there. I got this from Wikipedia, but that's just the basic definition for negotiation. What is it really? What goes into it? So when do you even know you are negotiating? You can negotiate on whether you want to trade lunches with someone. You've been negotiating since you were in grade school, but to really get down to it and to get the best and be good at it, it gets a little bit harder once you get up to, those job offers that you want to get the best deals out of, or even, selling a car, selling a house, selling yourself. So let's get a little bit deeper into it. How do you negotiate? It doesn't have to be a monetary transaction. It could just be any negotiation, obviously, like we talked about. Policies, trying to meet in the middle on policies, bylaws within your organization. I'm in a fraternity. We're always writing bylaws just to make this place better. And sometimes we don't all agree, so we do have to compromise. First, you want to establish credibility. This will be more like towards someone who's selling something. Someone who is the first time meeting with this client that you want to exchange with, and you both want to come out better in the end. So you definitely have to establish credibility. We'll talk about a little more about that in the next slide. You want to prepare thoroughly, collect and evaluate information on leverage, value, sale prices, competition, and other factors that are likely to have an effect upon the negotiation, which they will, especially all of those that I just listed. Give yourself room to maneuver, leave yourself some bargaining room, but make sure that you have a plausible rationale for any positions that you take. So you want to hit them hard with what you want. They'll hit you hard with what you want. And you want to stand firm, but that's where the giving yourself room to maneuver comes in, because you don't want to simply just get what you're asking for, because if you could do that, there would be no need for negotiation. So definitely give yourself some room, like an anchor, to where you want to stick around, where you're willing to move but not too far from it. I got some of those rules from an article called 15 Simple Rules for Customer Negotiations by Geoffrey James. Okay, establishing credibility. You want to be sensitive, for sure. It needs to be obviously there needs to be real sensitivity, know what the buyer wants, why they want it, and be sensitive to why they want those things. You got to be honest with what you want. You can't go in, obviously if you tell a lie to someone right off the bat, you're probably not going to sell them whatever you're going to sell them. That's just the main thing there. Be objective. This one's harder for some people. You just have to be objective. I mean, if someone says, if you think about it, if you're buying a car, if someone says, hey, this car has this many miles, and you're going to say, well, I'm sorry, that's, this is an average selling price for this, and they want to go lower. You got to be objective. Be sincere. I think I might have mixed those two, but be sensitive and be sincere. Basically the same thing. You want these people to know that you actually care for them and you're not just in it for the money or getting what you want. You need to be knowledgeable, obviously. You have to know what you're talking about. Nobody's going to buy anything from you if you have no idea what you're talking about or don't know 100% about everything that you're selling. Promote achievements. Obviously, achievements are a great way to give yourself credibility. Ask for endorsements from other people. Hey, Alex is a really nice guy, really good salesman. He's giving people lots of good deals. They like to come back to him, And find your confidence. This one's another hard one, which is hard to do, but once you find your confidence, I think all of these will become a little bit easier, and you can mesh them together really well and definitely establish your credibility. Preparing by knowing your walkaway and by building the number of variables you can work with during the negotiation. Everyone agrees about the walkaway, whether you're negotiating an arms deal with the Russians, a labor agreement with the UAW, or a contract you can't afford to lose. You need to have a walkaway, a combination of prices, terms, and deliverables that represents the least you will accept. And if you go any lower than that, obviously the walkaway, you got to walk away. Without one, you have no negotiating roadmap. And I got that I kind of summarized it myself, but hopefully that made a little sense. But I got that from negotiating with a customer you can't afford to lose. This is more geared towards, like sales, but this is definitely something you'll need to know in a business environment, or you could, if you end up not walking away, you could definitely hurt someone's bottom line, and this is not good for a business environment. It could even get you fired. And for the last slide, I got some of those things from 8 Ways to Establish Credibility in the Workplace. It was a good article I read that gave me a lot of insight. And that was by Peter Gaska, March 9th, 2015. Here's different kinds of strategies or outcomes that happen in negotiations. You got your win-lose. One side wins, one side loses, okay? Common. Lose-lose, not as common, but it can be when we get into more detail about what I'm going to talk about. Neither side achieves a desirable result. Both parties are worse off. Failed negotiations are frequently lose-lose. Win-win. These negotiations find mutually beneficial common ground. Great. This is what you want. This is what we're going for. And you have your 4 principles of negotiating. You have to separate the person from the issue. If you don't like this person, you hate them, and you're here to do business dealings with them, it could affect you, and you could end up in a lose-win situation because you lose and they win. They're not your enemy. You may hate them with all your heart, but when it comes to negotiation, they are your partner. You guys are both trying to get a win here. Win-win. When it comes to negotiation, you may lose out if you can't see past this principle. If you could simply order what you wanted, there would be no need to negotiate. So definitely you're going to have to negotiate and get a deal and keep whatever is between you guys out of it. This is simply business. That's why the term is there. It's just business. Negotiate on interest, not position. So I read about an example here that was really good. I'll find a reference here in a little bit. But there's a pumpkin example. It's 3 people want to buy a pumpkin, and they all 3 know they want to buy a pumpkin because they need something from the pumpkin. One of them needs the shell, the other needs the meat to make, a pie or whatever, and the other just needs the seeds. So eventually they, negotiate, and they all win. One person takes the seeds, one takes the shell, one takes the meat. That's a win-win. All parties are satisfied. If you're on position here, you would probably lost out on that pumpkin and wouldn't have had anything. So make sure to know what your interests are when you go into the deal. Develop a criteria. This is, if you hear a problem, everyone thinks of their own solution, and soon everyone negotiating has their own position. Remember, positions are bad. You want interest. This could end in a compromise, and you could leave unsatisfied. If you go to a restaurant, you ask someone, what do they want to eat? Well, you can name anything off, and they're going to say, yeah, we'll go there. And then they're going to say, oh, wait, I didn't want fast food. So you got to develop a criteria. Do you want to go to a sit-down restaurant? Do you want a big menu? Do you want a small menu? Do you want drinks? What kind of drinks do you want? Do you want vegan? Do you want whatever? That's why you develop your criteria, and then you gear your negotiation towards more of what you both want. So this is important when developing policies, bylaws, or simply deciding what you want to eat. People like to choose. You should have options to choose from to make you feel like you had the process of elimination. I know that makes me feel great. If I have, a Gatorade, water, or a Pepsi, I'm going to think, well, do I want to be healthy? Am I going full of sugar right now? Am I just craving some Gatorade? Does my body need some electrolytes? You're going to think, well, based on what's going on with me right now, I'm going to go with the Gatorade. And then you're going to feel a lot better about yourself. If it was just the Gatorade only and someone made you buy it, you're going to think, should I have really bought this? So, and that's based on a Harvard study I read about. It's called People Like to Choose. And it was actually really interesting. And it made me realize how much I actually do like to choose. I need the options presented for me just like everyone else does. And why this matters, it's applicable to everything and is especially important in business. Considering the name of the class is Business Communications, I do believe this would coincide with the curriculum, and it simply is just something I would like to know. I joined this class because, I thought I would be giving, business pitches, learning how to give a stock pitch, what to wear, how to talk, how to dress, how to be confident, and know my audience, and whether it's an executive at my business, maybe someone I'm selling something my business sells to, like a client, This is definitely something I would like to know more about, and I don't think 12 to 15 minutes was enough, but you could definitely go way more in depth with it. There's all kinds of research into what makes you a good negotiator, what you're supposed to do, and I think just a simple lesson within this class's curriculum would be immensely helpful for business communication. So with that, thank you, and you guys have a good one.